Hi everyone, it's Rita. I have the Akashic Records of Humanity opened on planet Earth, June 24th, 2024 for the week. And I was hearing as soon as I opened them, enjoy the calm energy. So regardless of where you are in the planet, sort of a permeation of kind of calmness happening. So I ask questions and I'm hearing stuff. So what do we need to know about that? And, there's certain areas that are still under a lot of conflict. And then they mentioned this Dr. Konstantin Korotkov, who's a quantum physicist, and he has done a lot of stuff with Kirlian photography. And he's going to do an interview with us. And he speaks a lot. I just watched an interview with him. He speaks a lot about your level of intention and joy and love and leaning into all those things because we're all connected. And I'm really excited about interviewing him because I'm going to interview him for the film that we created called The Revelation of You. So we've got some really cool science doctor interviews coming up. He's one of them. And then we've got an interview with Dr. Bruce Lipton at the end of July. So I haven't actually scheduled the one with Dr. Korotkov, but he said he would love to do an interview with us. So I'm excited about that because what we did is we used a biofeedback, a very old biofeedback system that's been around for 20 some years, and it has a really high accuracy rate in measuring the auric field. And he did a lot of studies and things out of curiosity like me, with Kirlian photography. And in fact, he says that when it first came out in the 70s, he was at the university in St. Petersburg, Russia. He's Russian. And he was sort of the new person on the faculty, I guess. And they're like, we really need to study this. And so they elected him. He said it's been an amazing exercise. And so it'll be really interesting to hear more from him. And he just had a whole speaker lineup thing because he's invented a device called the BioWell. And so anyway, and I've got a friend who uses that device. I had actually bought it because I was curious about, they have a device that attaches to it called the Sputnik. And I had asked, I had an intention, and our intentions always get answered. And this is why it's really important to focus on things you're really curious about or things that you think will bring you joy or bring you more of what you want, right? I mean, we get what our thoughts and feeling and emotion states create. And that's one of the things I'll talk to him a little bit about when we do an interview. And Dr. Lipton, who wrote a book called The Biology of Belief, which is amazing if you haven't seen it. So anyway, yeah, so it was exciting to get the okay that we're gonna be able to do an interview with him. And I watched one of his interviews today, and he was speaking about the power of our intentions, right? So mine was I was just curious, what crystals did to the energy field. And it's been I've been guided the whole way. In fact, I've had some friends say, you're not finished with that film yet? You started it back in 2020, it started literally 4 years ago. We didn't actually dive in until late 2020. And then, but it's still been going on. But, literally if that had finished 2 years ago, I wouldn't be interviewing Dr. Bruce Lipton. I wouldn't be interviewing Dr. Korotkov. And Torakov. I've got to pronounce I want to get his name right. I took a Dale Carnegie class when I first started as an executive at UPS in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, I guess. And I took a Dale Carnegie class with them, and they said the sound of a person's name, it's like the sweetest sound to the human's ear is the sound of their own name. So I never forgot that. And that's an important part of how we connect with each other. And what he was talking about today is, animals pick up on our energy, but so do people. And there's so much about resonance with everything. People that you love or get attracted to, there's all this energy resonance. And so with heart math, they show that. They say babies, that's why some relationships connect and then don't, you know, like if they're not connecting on an energetic level, they won't survive, right? And unless, I shouldn't say it like that, but anyway, you know what I mean, right? But so he was talking about that with heart math and how, you know, babies, their energy is like their mothers. And so that's why it's really important for them to have connection with their mother right after they're born and stuff. So anyway, getting back to planet humanity, but they wanted me to tell you that. They were like, talk to everyone about intention, because you live at a time on your planet where you're creating so much with your level of energy and intention and focus. So make it something that you really want to be experiencing more of. We're having storms here in Sedona. It's nice. This is what they call the monsoon period. So it's more flash rain. So there's some flash flooding or whatever that can happen. But it starts to cool the air down. So you may hear some rumbling. That's what that is. So what else do we need to know? Some of you are experiencing summer and some of you are experiencing winter on the planet. Take time to experience nature. Whether you're in winter or summer, your planet has so much to share with you and teach you. And that's again about the resonance. So if you're near the sea, you're in the water, dive in, ask the wisdom of the water, what you need to know. If you're in the woods or it's winter, you know, hold a tree, ask the tree to take your energy that doesn't belong to you and tell you what you need to know. Walk in harmony with the earth. The earth wants to support you. You know that from grounding and from the books and movies that have been written about grounding and how it reduces inflammation in the body. So take your shoes off and connect with the earth. They want me to mention Dr. Lynn McTaggart to you. I've read several of her books. The Bond is like mind-blowing, and the Intention Experiment. Trying to think, she used to have a newsletter out of the UK. It was international. It was a magazine actually called What Doctors Don't Tell You. And it's not, I don't think with doctors it's intentional. There really needs to be a balance with medicine and things. But there's not very much information given to doctors and things on nutrition and natural forms of medicine like essential oils, and like with the osteopaths, like massage and chiropractic adjustments and all these things. Because unless you take the energy of the body into account, you're missing out on a huge aspect of how we heal and how we thrive. And that was one of the intentions I put out when I was doing the study of subtle energy fields. Scientists at Harvard and medical schools were like using magnets to change the ions around the body because they noticed the ions weren't flowing correctly in people that weren't well. And I didn't understand how we could go from that type of medicine and training at a medical college at a Harvard and Yale level to just strictly allopathic medicine. And what was shown to me was that Dr. Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller, paid university medical schools around the world just to teach allopathic medicine because he was going to use that as another avenue for building more wealth. And it's unfortunate that a lot of the universities, I read that China was the only medical schools that refused his grants. But in all those other places, they were actually teaching all these things about how we connect with, use the earth, natural forms of remedies. So we're getting back to that remembering, I think. All right, I may go into the humanity tomorrow as well, but because I'm getting close to 10 minutes. If you stayed this long, thank you. I love you. Thank you for sharing my channel. More to come. It's always more. There's always more to discover and learn. Bless you.